It's nice and lightweight. It weighs only 15 pounds. It's nice and easy to take to a guild or over to a friend's. Easy to use. You can take any of the dies. This is a die, and then we have the mat. This is the mat. You always use a die and a mat together. You can cut strips of fabric that are the width of the die or where the blades are, or you can use scraps such as these. So you just lay your fabric on the die. You can layer it. I've done up to 8 layers of fabric, of flannel, but it depends upon the person and depends upon the fabric. So you should take 2 layers and go from there and keep adding. You always want to put the die at a slight angle, not straight in. That helps it to cut uniformly. It's just like an old wringer washer or a pasta machine. You just wind it through and it cuts the fabric. This is going to give you a precision cut every time. It's not like when we cut and the ruler might slide, that type of thing. It just gives you a nice uniform cut.
So that's pretty cool. Where actually is the die? Like, how do you decide, or how can you tell what the shapes are that you're going to cut?
Whether it's the die that comes with the Go Cutter, which is right here on the box, includes a 4.5-inch square, 2.5-inch square, and 2-inch finished half-square triangle, such as you see on the table here. If you look at the actual die, you can see where the blades are. There's like an indentation. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but you can see it in here. So you can take a scrap and lay it exactly where those blades are, or you can cut a whole width of fabric and just fan fold it onto the die. A lot of the women that have purchased the Go Cutter love it because they've utilized all their scraps. So it makes it really nice.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
We have all different sizes. We have small dies. They're anywhere from $24.99 to $69.99, depending upon the number of blades. We have stars and feathers, hearts, circles, hexagons, the critters over here, a lot of types that you can applique. We're going to be getting in some new ones, a fall medley and a Christmas that'll show Christmas trees, holly, fall leaves. They'll be quite fun. We have dies such as the rag quilt die. It not only cuts out the shape that you want, but it also clips the edges.
Wow.
So instead of having a week's worth of clipping after you put the squares together, it's actually done as soon as you sew it together.
Well, so now how, if you're cutting a rag quilt, how would you do that? Would you layer the backing and the maybe flannel if you're using that in between, and then the top?
You can do stacks and then lay it out later, or you can actually put the backing down, a layer of flannel to act as the batting, and the top right side up, cut it, literally take it off there, do your crosshatch, sew them together, and you're done.
Oh, wow.
So it makes it really
Yeah.
easy. And then we also have long strip dies. We have 2.5-inch size, which could do your binding, or you could create your own jelly rolls. We have 2-inch and 1.5-inch. So, and equally here is the mat. The mats are $5.99 to $14.99 depending upon the size. And again, you would just layer it. With the long strips, you can actually take the width of your fabric, and the ends are open-ended, so you don't cut that, so you have the full length of the fabric. If you wanted to run the fabric long ways, you can actually fan fold that and even get a longer length where you don't have to piece your borders, which makes it really nice.
Now, how do you make sure that you're cutting the straight strip so that you don't end up like with the bends when you're fan folding it? Is that ever a problem?
No, I haven't seen it as a problem. I've even shown a lady how to do bias binding, and it was just in the way we folded it and then laid it on here. Didn't have any problem at all.
Nice.
And in one cut, she had all her binding. It took the longest to press it and fold it. Actually putting it through here just took a minute, less than a minute.
Wow.
So it makes it really nice. Yeah. And then, like with the half-square triangles, one thing I like about that is that you can put them right sides together and cut them and just take them off, sew them, and you're already there. You don't have to match them up, and it actually clips the ends as well.
Now, do you ever cut strips and then cut your half square triangles, or you just lay the?
You can take any die, no matter what size, and just look at the widest part and measure it. You want to be just outside of the blades. You don't want it where it goes down in the blades.
Oh.
So you would cut that width, and then again just fan fold it over the die and cut it. So
Nice.
whether you're using scraps or widths of fabric, no problem.